What's your story about? And you need to be able to tell me in a page or less. At first, this seems like a daunting task, but by not being able to do it, you could be wasting some very important opportunities. Hi all, Hank from Right to Real here. Best suggestion? Keep it simple and stick to your story. An easy way to do that is to pick 7 or 8 plot points that demonstrate you understand the basics of storytelling. The idea behind this is to convey to the agents, managers, or producers you're pitching to that they're not wasting their time with your script. Now that's very important, so let's break that down a bit. I'll suggest some of the plot points to include, and then we'll do an example using The Empire Strikes Back, since most of us are familiar with the movie, and it's my favorite movie, and because I'm narrating this video, you'll just have to go with me. Pitch plot points. Opening. You should give a brief explanation of who the protagonist is before his world changes. Inciting incident. Also called the catalyst by the late Blake Snyder, this is the scene where your character is thrown out of the realm of familiarity, starting her on her quest. Start of Act 2. This is where the protagonist is first challenged by new things. He can either succeed initially here, or fail. Just make sure you're clear which way it is, and mention that there's drama. Midpoint. As we've discussed in a lot of our pro reviews, the midpoint appears like night and day. If things are good early on, this is where they go bad, and vice versa. Dark moment. Stories generally have a moment where all is lost. Thanks again, Mr. Snyder. It's the lowest part of your character's story, but also the point where things turn around and a plan is formulated. Climax. Your protagonist has been working towards a goal, and here's where that final decision will either let her attain it, or everything blows up in her face. The ending. Keep in mind, US audiences like happy endings and get angry at sad endings. Either way you choose to go, this is the final image your audience will take away from your pitch. If you're not sure that you have all of these, don't panic. Chances are they're probably in your script and you just don't know how to label them. The important thing to have in your synopsis or have in your pitch is to show that your story escalates from beginning to end. And here's room for an optional plot point. If you have a scene where you really want and you really love and you want to mention it, work it into the above structure where it fits, but make sure it's adding to your plot. Don't just mention, I have an awesome car chase scene, if you can't relate it to the story. Some things to note. Like most of our videos, this isn't the be-all, end-all way to write a synopsis. I've just had a good rate of return using this particular method. Do you tell them how it ends? You'll hear a lot about this, and by nature we want people to be curious enough to want to read our scripts. Unfortunately, Hollywood has little time to mess around, so don't blow an opportunity just to keep a secret. Looking back over my pitches, I may have stumbled onto something unconsciously. I noticed that I end my pitch at the climax, which leaves the listener wondering. However, if agents or producers ask how it ends, I don't hesitate to tell them. This may or may not work for you, so include what you feel comfortable with. Alright, enough gabbing. Let's take a look at an example. Here we'll write a synopsis for The Empire Strikes Back. Okay, let's take a look at a sample synopsis. Title, The Empire Strikes Back. Genre, sci-fi action adventure. Logline. As Luke trains with Master Yoda to become a Jedi, his friends evade the Imperial fleet under the command of Darth Vader in an effort to manipulate Skywalker's turn to the dark side. So now we start into the synopsis. Despite destroying the Death Star, the Rebel Alliance is forced to hide on the ice planet of Hoth from Darth Vader and the Empire. Strange meteorite activity is investigated, and with Luke recovering from an attack by an ice monster, Han and Chewbacca destroy a probe droid that after it relays their position to the Empire. Vader orders an attack, hoping to wipe them out. The rebels scramble to defend their escaping shuttles in a massive snow battle and are quickly overrun. Luke escapes with R2-D2 to a remote planet where he will continue his Jedi training, as Han takes Leia and the others aboard the Millennium Falcon, only to be pursued by Darth Vader himself. Luke finds the Jedi Master, Yoda, is more than he seems, and it's here he realizes his journey with the Force has only just begun. Han and Leia have a stroke of luck, as they outwit the Empire and turn to an old scoundrel friend of Han's. Thinking they're safe with Han's friend, Lando, in a city in the clouds, the group quickly discovers they've been sold out to Vader, and Han will be turned over to a bounty hunter to settle an old debt. Luke's powers grow stronger, and through the Force he learns his friends are in danger, and he must rescue them before he masters his training. Han is frozen in metal and taken away as Leia, Chewie, and C-3PO rush to save him. Luke arrives on the Cloud City, not to the company of his friends, but to face Darth Vader and either turn to the dark side or die. The bounty hunter escapes with Han, and Leia rescues Luke with the help of Lando and Chewie. The story ends with them rejoining the Rebel fleet, where they hatch a plan to save their friend Han. Now notice some of the choices we've included. Ice battle, city in the clouds, frozen in metal. You can even go back up and see Luke recovering from an attack on ice monster. And let's see, where's a couple other? Oh, here's one. And Han will be turned over to a bounty hunter to settle an old debt. Now, all these should be giving, subtle plot drops and having your listener kind of create images in their mind, but something they'll ask questions about. It's showing your creativity and giving them follow-up questions that help you expand upon your plot. Quick note on using this format for a verbal pitch. Once you're finished, ask if anyone has any questions. If you feel the pitch went well, and you're comfortable enough, ask if you can send the script. If they ask for a one-page synopsis similar to this format, take their info and gladly send that. However, if they ask for the script, don't sell yourself short and ask if they'd prefer the synopsis. Given the choice, people will always opt to save time by doing less work. Second, practice, practice, practice. Know the rough version of this synopsis inside and out, with no need to read and adding emphasis, emotion, etc. where you need it. Speaking in front of strangers is very intimidating for most of us. I went over my pitch until I had it memorized. Then I practiced in front of the mirror. Then I practiced a few times in front of my family. The goal is to be comfortable enough that you're presenting your story naturally. Also, have a backup. Maybe this particular script isn't for the person you're pitching, and they ask, what else have you got? You better be able to answer that question. Agents and managers don't need to waste more time on one-trick ponies. So that's a quick synopsis format to use. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. Then feel free to leave us comments on future topics you'd like covered. Remember, more in-depth screenwriting discussions are to be had at writetoreel.com too. Thanks, and write your butts off.